Hello, this is Chidero, and welcome to my first Rainbow Loom Bling Bracelet tutorial. Not sure really what to call it there. We have been looming for quite some time now, my son and I, and with 20 bracelets up my arm a day, it just kind of sparked my attention, maybe add something different. So what you see before you are just simple, already created designs with some jewelry added to it. It's very, very simple. So my first tutorial, my thought was just to show you a few of the bracelets that I've gotten a lot of feedback on, show you the pieces of jewelry, beads that I had used, what type of bracelet that I used it on, and give you kind of just a little bit of a snapshot on how I got started as far as where I bought my beads and which bracelets I chose and that sort. And so by the end of the tutorial, if you are interested in adding a bit of a twist to your already created collection, you'll have a better understanding and a little bit of a heads up on how to do so. So what I'd like to do is just take each bracelet one by one and explain a little bit about it. So let's bling it. Okay, the first bracelet that I've actually added jewelry to was Yarn Journey's Gumdrop Bracelet. The tutorial was done by Rob at Justin's Toys, so if you would love to make this bracelet, please check out Justin's Toys YouTube channel for a great tutorial. I just want to show you just quickly just the beads that I used. This bracelet I will be doing a tutorial on actually creating the bracelet and adding the beads, and also show you how the beads can slip on and off an existing gumdrop bracelet. So the two beads that I did use, they are actually spacers. They are, this one here has little diamonds, crystals all the way around, like a little crown. It has a large hole opening. As you can see, every other one, that's what I placed. The other one that I used, which is also, it's a spacer or an O-ring, and it's just metal. It's shiny, bling, but it actually has two holes in it, which is really awesome. You can thread that. I know it's crazy, but you can really thread that. I haven't yet, but I love them. I really like, you know, there's the bracelets like this that have a little bit of space in between. They just go on really, really awesome. So this was probably the most requested bracelet for a tutorial. So like I said, this one will come first whenever I do start the tutorials. Okay, let's see our next bracelet. Okay, my next bracelet, I hate to say I created it or designed it, but I don't really know if there's one out there. It's just simply a ladder bracelet, but I just didn't add every single horizontal or vertical, I'm sorry, vertical bracelet or band right there. I just kind of did every other one. I wanted to use these bigger beads or spacer beads and was just looking for some type of design that I could. I love this bracelet because it actually stays like this. There's a lot of bracelets that are woven really tight, and whenever you lay them down, you know, they kind of crinkle. I'm very surprised, and the reason that it does keep its shape, meaning up, you know, obviously the size of the bead and the weight of all of these beads on here, it's not heavy, it's just heavier than, you know, just a normal band bracelet. So the beads that I used were not this exact spacer, but this is just an example. It's a big one, and these are they're a little bit pricey. It's probably around $5 for like a string of them. You can buy them at any craft store. Walmart has them, but they will come with any type of, you know, just a nice marble, different type of textures and designs. The other bead that I added was, these are my favorite because I call them the bling beads. They have like that disco ball effect, so they're really sparkly, but they have to be woven in, or threaded in, I'm sorry, because they do have a very, very tiny hole. As you'll see, you can see that hole right there. There are smaller beads than this that have the same hole size, but you can get a bead, you can get a band through that hole. So, and that one is I guess it's like a silverish tint to it. This here is just a regular silver bead. They remind me of the little beads that you can actually make sweets, baked goods with. Obviously you can't eat it, but okay. So this one, again, it has a really tiny hole, but you can put a band through it. So those are the 3 beads that I used just for this bracelet here. This would be a very simple tutorial. If requested, you know, I would definitely throw one of those up for you. The only time-consuming thing about any of these bracelets is just, you know, you just kind of you have to thread every band. So you just, either 2 ways that I do it: either I thread all of the beads on the bands first and then loom it, or you can thread it, loom it, thread it, you know, and place them on the loom. So let's see our next bracelet. Okay, this next bracelet is Crazyjustmightwork's Spotty Dotty. Love it. It looks very, very different than Susan's original Spottie Dotty bracelet. But when I looked at it, I loved it. She had actually put where I have the diamonds and these little charms on those bands, she just looped another band there. So on her bracelet, which is the, you know, it is the design bracelet, there's just looped bands. So when I looked at it, I loved it. It was really, really cool. So, but it did spark my mind thinking, we could add some type of jewelry in those spots. So this one, I had some seashell beads, and I thought, well, let's try like a beach theme, and it turned out pretty cool. I do like it a lot. It's a wonderful design. It's tightly woven, and you can see that all of these bracelets, this one is a great example. Your wrist, nothing touches you as far as the beads, so it's not going to irritate you. It's still, you know, simply the bands. So I have this little seashell here. I believe I found a mixed pack. Again, it could be, usually Michael's is where I would shop because that was the original place that we were buying our Rainbow Loom bands. Michael's Craft Store, AC Moore, but this is just in a pack of beads, just a mixture. Happened to be some seashells. So you can see that is a very, very small hole, and it needs to be thread onto the band. The other, this is my favorite, love it. Now this is the bling. These are like little diamonds, okay? They come on a string, and I'll have to show you in a bit how I obtained these. But as you can see here, which it is a little bit difficult to see. Okay, there you go. You can see the hole. They're very small holes, and these particular pieces, you don't want to risk threading anything but opaque bands on, to be honest with you. Rainbow Loom opaque bands. I say that because I love the silicone bands. I love anything. I like the thicker bands. There's no getting a thick band through there. I have tried, and I broke like 3 or 4, and they're too limited edition expensive for me to even try again. So these are all opaque bands, and this is a double banded loomed bracelet. But whenever it comes time to put a bead, that's just a single knot right there. So if you follow Crazyjustmightwork's tutorial, or I'm sorry, I believe Loom Loves to Loom did the tutorial on this bracelet, which she does fabulous tutorials. Every place that she put a looped band, you have an opportunity to add a bead. Okay, let's look at our next bracelet. Okay, my next bracelet I call the Ring of Fire. First time I think I've ever gone out of my element, which I like sparkle color bands, or you know, glitter, things like that, but it's just simple red, a little bit of orange, and yellow. This design I had found on Pinterest only by word of mouth. It was posted, a picture of it, and there was an explanation given. It was called the Wacky 4-pin. My apologies, I don't remember exactly who posted it, but I definitely will put it in the remarks below. So real quickly, I just wanted to show you, I will be doing a tutorial on this bracelet, but it's really awesome. You would use your loom, these 4 pins right here. So I'm not sure if it can be done on the fishtail. I think I tried, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're doing it pretty much in a diamond shape is how you're looming, and after so many times that you loom, you'll take and put a band from here to here, and then here to here. Actually, you would double your bands. Then you would loom it again. It sounds a little bit complicated, but it really is simple. But that's what gives these bands here, that's what makes them stick out. So once again, all I did was take spacers and just place them. I doubled these up, and I put 2 spacers because I had a lot, because these particular ones come in a pack, so I had a lot of them. So this is very similar concept as the Gumdrop Bracelet, is you're just going to give it a little bit of a tug, and they slide right into place, just like that. So once again, because this is a fishtail design, growing bracelet, it is better to add your beads or your spacers as you're designing it than to wait until the end. But I will be doing a tutorial on this one, and I will show you the process of adding the beads or the spacers. Right here is the example of the spacer that I did use. It kind of is a brushed nickel, but it's thicker, so it's sturdier, more boyish to me, is kind of another reason I wanted to do a boy bracelet. My son was like, "Oh, these are nice bracelets, Mom, they're all for girls." So, but anyway, as you can see here, it has a split. So they're awesome because you can shape them. You can take them and add beads to them, or simply, you know, if you have a bracelet that you're like, oh man, I don't want to ruin it, but you wanted to add something, you can just tinker with it, open it up, put it back into place. So awesome bracelet, great for the boys, out of just the ones that I've made so far, and it's very durable, and we like it. Okay, let's go to our next bracelet. Okay, this next bracelet I'm in love with. It's really awesome. This is the Copacabana bracelet by Crazyjustmightwork. I'll cover up the beads. This is what Loves to Loom to the tutorial. This is what the bracelet looks like. It's a fabulous bracelet. She explains it extremely well. You can't really look at on camera right now. It doesn't look like it's the Gumdrop bracelet, but in reality it looks similar to it, but it is a totally different stitching technique. So all I simply did was add 2 spacer bands with a little bit of a texture in the design, and one with, you know, a little bit of the diamond effect. And that was it, just right down, right in the center of the bracelet. I did use jelly bands, and obviously with jelly bands, they're very forgiving. By that I mean when you're pulling, and this bracelet is designed really, really well that I don't feel afraid when I pull on this to add. Okay, so I'm pulling right now, which you can already tell I'm pulling a little bit more than I did on the Gumdrop bracelet, and you're just going to shimmy these beads just around. This one I beaded after I completed the bracelet because I knew I just wanted to put a couple, and I'm really not that gifted to know exactly where the middle is. So after it was completed, I kind of threw the spacers on. I don't have the exact ones that I used right here, but I do have a whole bunch of different colored ones I wanted to show you. They have a metal outline around the hole. These are the largest spacers that I have, but they are the most expensive ones as well. They are around $5, I believe, at the craft store. They'll come on a string. Sometimes you can find similar ones in a pack, but they are gorgeous. They are beautiful beads. They're very blingy, very sparkly, very cool. This is the other spacer or O-ring, if you will, that I used. It's not the exact one, but it's the shape and the same hole size that I did use. They come lined in colors you could get, or you can get this once they're silver lined. The one that I use I think actually is lined in black, but that's it. And so I actually put one of the O-rings there as the clasp, which I forgot about that. Those work really awesome. Remember I told you that you can twist it like that? Yeah, these are awesome. So I'm sorry. So anyway, I just merely slid the beads on, and there you go. And like I said, all of the credit, you know, the credit goes to the design. It's just, you know, maybe having the knack to pick out, you know, what kind of jewelry to put on it, and just, you know, just a different thought as to if you want to change it up or not. Okay, let's look at our next bracelet. Okay, this next bracelet I am in love with. It is a simple fishtail design concept, and all I did was add these O-rings in here. This one I will definitely be doing a tutorial on. If you're doing the fishtail bracelet, these hot pink bands that you see here, I doubled them, and I put the spacer bead, or the spacer, I put 2 bands through it and then loomed it. These silver metallic metal beads that you see, that one there, those are just, you know, single loomed bands. So the reason I doubled it is because I just wanted it to be sturdier to hold these beads. I tried to do it with one band and it was just a train wreck. I do want to kind of, I do have another idea that I'd like to try to make these beads stay. I know on Instagram, Budget Central, she's been selling these at her store, I believe. And she did mentioned as well as about them not staying in place, which is mine. Here, let me do this real quick. Okay, as you can see, they like to move around a little bit, so it's not a problem, I guess, because I'm like OCD about, you know, wanting it to be a certain way. You just give it a little bit of a tug and they will fall back into place. But great bracelet. It's worn, let me put it on real quick. And you can see, you know, right before I started taping, I darn snapped a band. Oh, I was so upset because this is one of my favorite. Okay, so as you can see here, it can be worn two ways. Okay, it can be worn where the beads are on the side. So, you know, when you're laying your hand flat, you can see your O-rings, or it can be worn up and down, so when you're looking at it, you're seeing your beads or your O-rings from that angle. So a little bit of versatile, but it's just enough just to add just, you know, that little bit of sparkle or sheen. Colors are awesome. Jelly bands, they're the hot pink jelly pink bands. Cool bracelet. Okay, the last bracelet that I would like to show you is one that I just completed a couple days ago. I am completely amazed on how it turned out. I really, really am. I took, yet again, Yarn Journey's design, the laced ruffles, and just added beads to it. It is gorgeous. It is an awesome design. I will say that it is just layered as she named it. So you're putting on like 3 layers on your loom. So you're putting one layer up, then you're putting in another layer up, and check out Yarn Journey's YouTube channel to go ahead and check out the video on it. But anyhow, I used 2 different types of beads. So I used what I call bling bead, and I'm so sorry my camera is not picking up on a color. It's pink, but it is a small hole opening bead. They do come in packs, so you're able to get a lot for your money, or they'll come on a bead string. And as I've shown you already, my favorite, it's one of the little diamonds. Oh, I love these. They are so awesome. And as I had mentioned before, you have to use an opaque band in order for it to be fit. Now, I will say this, because of my experiences before with it, and I really wanted to put these little diamonds on here, I used the jelly clear. Well, I don't know if I should say they're jelly, but they're the clear bands. And I stitched those, and it worked great. So I don't know if I should categorize it as an opaque band, but that's the band that I used just to do the diamonds. So this one I will be doing a tutorial on. Looks like it's a little bit, yank on this, put that back into place. There we go. I will be doing a tutorial on this one. I would love to see other colors. I'm always amazed on the bracelets that I see in these designs. The color schemes that people come up with, they are just fabulous. The designs themselves are just spectacular. The whole process of just the creativity is amazing. So there you have it. There is my little bit of a taste of the bracelet collection that you've seen posted. a little bit about the different kind of beads that I use, and I hope that if you're interested in adding a little bit of a twist to your bracelets, that you will keep posted to see. I will be having my first bracelet tutorial up within a few days. Please come back, check it out, and make sure that you ask any questions. If you have any questions about beads or placement or anything of that matter, please make sure to ask. Now, I'm sorry, there is one extra thing that I did want to show you. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the threading process, which is going to pretty much it's pretty much going to give away, which is great. This is exactly what I use. Okay? Yeah, look at this. It's pathetic, right? It works. That's what it is. It's cheap and it works. All this is a bead wire, okay? It comes on a spool, and my apologies, I do not have the spool, but you look where the beads, where you can purchase the beads, and it is a very, very thin gauged wire. I actually bought a bead making beginner's kit, and the little tiny spool came in it. So all I did was I took this much off of the spool and cut it, and then bent it in half. And this, my friends, is the famous beading tool, you know? Jeez. Okay, so what I would do, okay, this is a thicker band. So you would have your two openings here. You would take your band and stick your band inside that V and merely let it hang. Okay? Now you're going to take both pieces of your wire and hold them together. Okay? Now we're going to take a bead. We're going to take a small bead, a small hold bead. This one right here that I just showed you. Okay, and the key is to get, this one's a little bit bent up, the key is to get them both inside the hole of the bead together. And there you have it. I simply took, make sure that it is nice and even at the top. Okay, find your hole there. Okay, stick both ends of that wire down through the bead. Okay, once you have it on the bead, okay, you can take it, and you're going to take your right hand, hold the wire a little bit snug here, and you're just going to carefully kind of tug on this bead here, okay? And this is a blue metallic Rainbow Loom bracelets, or I'm sorry, Rainbow Loom band, so it's a thick, good band. But you see, it slides right on. So after you have it on the band, release and just remove the band from the wire. They're not going to go anywhere, trust me. You have to actually place them on the band in order for it to move. Like I'm pulling right now, and I just moved it myself. You cannot, once you have this done, it's on, which is cool, you know. So, but that is the beading process, to be honest with you. It's that simple. And that's the ones that I love to use, these sparkly ones. So, quickly I'll show you. Here is my loom. You would just take both of your looped sides. When you take on one peg, you'd put a loop. Put the other side of the bead is the opposite loop and you add them to your loom. That's it. That simple. And so once your loom is fully done and it's starting for the looping process, okay, you're going to loop it the same exact way as you did before. So it's really simple and just something really cool to do, just to, like I said, add a little bit of a twist. Well, I thank you very, very much for joining me and watching my tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, any feedback, please let me know. Comment below. If for any reason at all, if you happen to like this tutorial, go ahead and let us know. Thank you, and let's bling it.